Okay, Dan, always full of great advice for our independent retailers. And that was another example and one come up. The questions keep rolling in. What'd you get this week?
So Angela from, I was going to say Saskatchewan, for you grown-ups fans, Saskatchewan, from Saskatoon said, can you share some tips on hiring and coaching salespeople? So Rob, totally a question that we get asked lots of times, not just through the podcast, but in my, everyday coaching life. It is a question that haunts everyone. Where do I find good people? How do I hire good people? How do I coach good people? And the most important component to your sales success beyond your inventory is your people. And the biggest misstep that we see in retail is hiring the wrong people. We hire warm bodies instead of assertive drivers. And too often, Rob, we hear this bullshit excuse, well, I can't find anyone. But are you really looking for someone, or are you hoping that they find you? And when you do find someone, you've got to make certain that they're the right people. And we've talked, I probably more than anyone wants to hear about hiring based on core values.
Right.
But there are other attributes, Rob, that we look for when we hire sales people. And I guess we kind of need to pause and say, we're hiring salespeople for our store. First and foremost, I understand that shelves need to be stocked. And I understand floors need to be mopped. And I understand metrics need to be tracked. But good salespeople will do all of that stuff. If I start with salespeople, so I hire salespeople for my store. And when I go to look at those attributes, what do I want in that salesperson? Well, first and foremost, they've got to be upbeat and energetic. They've got to listen more than they talk, right? They've got to be big thinkers, meaning they sell a vision, not a product. And the best salespeople in the world, Rob, possess subtlety. They never sound like they're selling anything. They're educating, they're instilling faith and confidence. They're quietly and invisibly demonstrating why customers should believe in them and then in turn buy from them, right? And this is a misstep in retail. We're focusing on the wrong attributes. And I'm going to say this, we've heard it 1,000 times. I can't find anybody. I can't find anyone. But you're not looking. And when you're actively looking, you want to be looking for these attributes in people. And they're not standing in the unemployment line.
You find a lot of your retailers get caught in that, don't have the sales experience when, to your point of focus more on the personality and these things. And you can teach them those elements of sales after the fact, but it's hard to teach that stuff.
Right. And that's the thing, right? Once we hire a team member, we've got to then invest in them with good coaching, not teaching. It's coaching. They already have the skills. Remember this, the best salespeople possess subtlety. They never look like they're selling, right? It's just coaching. It's guiding them through a system that enables success. The system is the selling system, right? The system that delivers an equal and specified level of service to every customer, no matter who serves them or how they present themselves. And Rob, you've heard me say this so many times, systems define outcomes. The system allows or guides us to sequentially and consequentially move through the steps that deliver superior customer experience. Now, all of that superior customer experience delivers higher UPTs, higher average sale, and yes, consequentially, higher revenue, right? And so depending on, who's inspiring you today or what sales training platform you're using, the steps, whether it's 5 or 6, are pretty much the same across the board. We greet, we engage, we understand needs, we present total solutions, we handle objections, and we close sales. And whether you're a subscriber to, Bob Negan's Retail Sales Academy from Whizbang Retail, or Harry Friedman's platform, probably in my mind, one of the best sales training platforms, sales system training platforms available today, or you're a YouTuber, and you find yours truly out there on YouTube. There's a ton of options available to get you just a little better than you were yesterday, right? And all of these options help you better identify who should be in your store, how to coach them, how to better reward them, right? Yeah. For their performance. And this is part of this process. And we've lost this in the recruitment, hire, train, coach, recruit, coaching, rewarding. We miss this step. You get what you pay for. We've got to go out and invest in our people. And sometimes we're not the best ones, Rob, to coach them. And we need to lean on a partner platform like Harry Friedman's or Bob Negan's platform, or Dan Holman's, 6 steps to selling, whatever it is. We need that third party voice sometimes to get good buy-in from our team and to deliver objective guidance or coaching, right? Objective, a disconnected to the result, to the result that you have in mind, the retailer. Let's bring in somebody that sees things a little more objectively, a little more big picture, and says, okay, scrape away all the bullshit, just no more excuse. Let's talk about why we greet customers and the importance of it. And I'm going to share this with you. Yesterday, okay?
Yeah.
I go into a retail store here in town, and I was in that store for 5 minutes before anybody even knew I was there. And there was somebody that was inside the door at the desk on his goddamn telephone.
So it wasn't your ninja abilities of
No. I wasn't sneaking. I walked in the front door.
Yeah.
Walked around. I did a full loop before this kid even acknowledged I was there. And I thought, man, just, I'm the only one. Like, what an opportunity that was for him to make a connection. It's not like he was busy doing something else. And, we've talked about this lots in the past.
I'm sure you're the angst of retailers everywhere. The simple category of the phone and the staff and their phones. Yeah.
It's been going on forever. And actually, I encourage people to have their phones. It's not about, the phone is a tool that can be used whether to showcase product that's not on your floor, or research something with a customer, or to use to promote the store socially.
Not a detraction.
But it was detracting him from the most important thing at that moment, that there was a customer in the store. Right?
When Angela's point about having trouble finding anyone,
right?
I just quickly think to sports, Dan, where you shouldn't be finding anyone. They should all be identified, or a lot should be identified. You're cultivating your team. You got your active roster, your minor system, like you're cultivating them to come up. And then, your scouts, and that's you. I know you're the independent retailer. You're wearing all the hats, but you constantly got to be, that might be that amazing server that you've had at the local restaurant. Your friend Bruce Kirkland, who runs a Lexus dealership, his whole scouting system is in the hospitality world. Right. And that's where he said he finds some of his best people, best up-and-comers.
Right. And that is because in hospitality, okay, let's just go back to those key attributes. Right? We're upbeat, we're positive, we're optimistic, right? We're energetic. That is hospitality. And why is it so bloody difficult for us to get a grasp on that in our retail stores, that we need to have high energy, optimistic people? If your glass is half empty, see ya.
Yeah.
Don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. I can't stand negativity when you have the best job in the world, right? There is nothing more social than being on a retail floor. right? Best job in the world if you're that type of person.
Right. Yeah.
If you're not that personality type,
Worst ever. Yeah.
it's the worst freaking job in the world.
Why
right?
do you keep sending me out there?
Yeah. Listen, Scott Smith, somebody that I idolize as a retail coach, will tell you his most favorite times are on the retail floor. Even today, he wants to go and work on that retail floor, but that's because of his core attributes. That's because of who he is. And subtlety is one of Scott's greatest attributes. You never know that this guy is selling you. He's instilling faith by building a relationship, right? He starts at the core of selling, and that's relationship.
Yeah.
And so finding those people, you can't wait for them to find you. And to your point, let's think about sports. We've already identified who needs to be, who's available in our audience. And we're always recruiting, always recruiting. Yeah. And I'm going to say this, even as a business owner, if I reach back into my drawer, I'm going to pull out a resume, right? Because I always have people in the top drawer. And those people that are in the top drawer, Rob, are the next potential athlete on my team, on my floor. And I don't always have an opening for that person. No. But people evolve, people develop, people change. Women get married and have babies, and men change. We live in a bit of a transient world. We can't expect, 0% attrition.
Yeah, forever in a day.
Right. So you've got to have
but
the
to
ability.
That point, the non-salesperson you encountered yesterday, probably like in an environment where the leader probably has stopped looking to continually improve, better build their team. And we'll never know that there's a better option out there because it's just a numbers game. I need 8 staff and I've got 8.
Right. And guess what? I totally blew it yesterday because I went back out after I left there, would not buy, didn't matter what I went in there for. I wasn't buying. Went out to my truck to get a business card. And I would say to every retailer out there, you never leave home without your card, because you're going to have an opportunity to run into somebody and you can card them and say, hey, if you're ever looking for a new opportunity, a new exciting, give me a call. Not poaching, right? Just the presentation. Well, I went out to my truck. I lifted up the console to get a business card. I was going to take it back in and leave it there and say, hey, do me a favor, give this to your owner. I'd love to have a chat with them. I didn't have a business card.
Well, in fairness,
I don't think
many of us have not been carrying business cards the last year and a bit here, but we're getting back to that.
But that's the thing. Retailers have to do that. And, for Angela, we did talk in depth about where to go and look for people. Yes, you can put ads out there, and writing creative ads is a great thing. And there's lots of people that advocate for great ads, and you should always have an ad out there. But you are the best ad. You're the best advertisement for your business, for your team. And you have to be out there looking. And as you alluded to, or you talked about Brucey, Bruce finds his best people in hospitality. And how many of us would like to spend a little time at a restaurant today, or, at the lounge, on the deck?
Great thoughts on hiring coaching salespeople, Dan. I'm sure retailers have some other questions out there. What's the best way to connect with you?
Yeah, so definitely can send a question to dan@thewealthyretailer.com. More importantly, you can hit up retailbycrs.com, subscribe to that newsletter. We'll share all of the content, the ability to ask and answer questions right within the newsletter. You can communicate directly with me on it, and we'll get answers to your questions, whatever they are. And if I don't have the answer, I'm going to find it for you. I probably know where to get it. And like I've said a million times, I don't have all the answers, but I know where I can get them from. Dan@thewealthyretailer.com. Best way to get me on an email.